Well, good morning, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. And it appears as though Rihanna will be performing this Sunday's Super Bowl halftime show in just a few days. RA-Inanna. Now, we're going to break that down. RA-Inanna, her name, the meaning, how it fits into this Super Bowl Sunday. And I finally thought that this would be an appropriate time to decode one of her most viral songs, Umbrella, which may or may not be performed at the halftime show. We're not sure yet. I don't know if we've been given a song list yet. And to be honest with you, I scheduled this show with absolutely no idea of what I might find, because this all could have been one big nothing sandwich, right? But today, we will give Rihanna the Enterthestars Holy Spirit discretion treatment. Let's get started here. And this is Rihanna, of course, born on 2/20/1988 in Barbados, in the Caribbean. Now, Rihanna and I share similar descent. I have ancestors going back to the Grand Cayman, as I shared with you guys on my Facebook. I have my great-grandfather's passport. He was a pastor in Little Cayman Island, and he built churches. He met my great-grandmother, who was basically fell in love, and they moved to California. So that's a little bit of the history of my life. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that to make any connection here, but it is interesting nonetheless. But what you're looking at here is a thumbnail that Rihanna chose to promote her Apple Music halftime show. This is from the stage, actually, where she did an interview. And to anybody paying attention, you see a serpent crawling up the side of her head. Interestingly, this serpent is coiled up on top of her head, and it emerges between the R and the B of the word Super Bowl, as you can see here. And we're going to break all that down, what that means, as we get into this decode today. Now, based on our research, we had discovered that umbrellas share the same basic parts as a hypodermic needle, and that umbrellas are synonymous with venomous injections. The injection of the umbrella's cane. Both hypodermic needles and umbrellas share the structure called a ferrule. It's a ring-like structure. Looks like a little ring that you would put on your finger. It's called a ferrule, from which the word ferrous comes from, which means, of course, iron. Ferrous material, programmable matter. So I decided to look further into this to see if the lyrics to the song Umbrella or the music video would reveal any connection to what we've discovered in terms of the ferrous fluid. And look at this. The Apple Music logo seems to have the very same ferrous fluid. Now, I superimposed this image of her with the umbrella over this, but the original image shows her with the serpent hair next to the Apple Music logo. Now, pay attention, because this show is going to be interactive as we get into this. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions. So pay attention. Why do we decode these celebrities? Why do we take the time to do this? Well, it's because they're worshipped, even by Christians. These false gods bring with them the people that follow them to their destruction when they're asleep. And by decoding these rituals, we save people back to the true God, don't we? Now let's take a look at the lyrics to Umbrella. I'm going to make sure you guys are with me. we're going to first break down the lyrics to Umbrella. Now, the first thing that I saw in these lyrics was the Rain Man, which is raw in man, right? Rain Man is back, raw in man. And that is exactly what the job of the umbrella is. As a syringe to put the raw in the man. But there's even more to this. Because Ra is the sun god, isn't he? Of course he is. He's Apollo. And the song mentions the sun many, many times. Now, you would expect that in a song that talks about rain, that they would be talking about sun too, the opposite of rain, right? But later on down here, she starts talking about stacking chips for a rainy day. Now, what could that possibly mean? Stacking chips for a rainy day. Is that like the mark, the chip? Which is what the umbrella syringe gives. The mark. She then explains that she took an oath. And so the timing of this song, and I guess the timing of when we finally decided to decode this, is pretty fitting, isn't it? Now that the world has been poked by the umbrella, the elite believe that now the fun can begin. So, next I decided to take a look at the music video to see if, maybe this confirmed some of our findings. And here is what I found at 1 minute and 12 seconds. The Baphomet head in the rain coming out of the womb. Watch. I've got this in slow motion here as she's flicking this water. She puts the head down toward the womb. Now I'm going to zoom this up a little bit so you can see this. This is unbelievable. And from the womb comes the Baphomet. Let me rewind this a little bit. You see it emerge here. I'll pause it at key points. There you see it very clearly. The horns. And there it goes. So what does all this mean? Well, obviously, the serpent wants to be in the womb. Now, many people notice female anatomy kind of looks like a Baphomet. These are signs of the curse of what happened to man when they fell from the garden. Men have a one-eyed serpent with a cobra neck on it that God spiritually has removed for the priests and saints in the Bible and previous covenants that he's had. Removing the ring of the cobra's neck. Now, we did some research on this. We found out that, in fact, circumcision comes off in a ring. Removing the ring. So what would that represent? That would represent the removing of the power of the serpent. Right? And the Bible says that we are born into sin. So our bodies carry bits and pieces and clues of the curse, but our bodies and our anatomy also carries clues about the plan of salvation, which is Jesus Christ, doesn't it? Now, I'm not going to get too much into the body code today, but many of you who have followed the journey have understood that we found the rib cage, the human rib cage, has 2, 3, and 7 ribs in that order and by type. 12 total ribs, which represents our beast body, and spiritually, through our lives, we have to ascend into the spiritual realm up into the throne room of God, which is the brain. Jesus sits at the back of our neck in the human anatomy. You can see him right there in cross sections of the back of the brain, looking in through the spine. And above him are the crossing optic nerves, which is the cross where he was crucified. The two thieves become the eyes in your head, trying to steal your salvation. Why? Because you choose the right or the left of the paradigm. That's your right and left eyes, which causes you to sin, which causes you to not choose Jesus in the middle. Where's Jesus sitting in the back of your brain? Well, his head becomes the pineal gland in the human anatomy. And there you see his arms outstretched, crucified, right where the optic nerves cross in the brain. So, God demonstrated for us in our human anatomy the plan, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning from the end, didn't he? And also, he shows us signs of the curse. That through the flesh, we are born into sin, and there is only one way out, and that's through the narrow gate, Jesus Christ. Now, if you're interested to see visual imagery of what I just described to you, the anatomy of our bodies, then you got to go back to the body code playlists on this channel, and you'll see everything that I just described to you. Now, the rest of this music video takes place inside of a garage, and this is where I want to get your guys' feedback on this and see what you think this is all about. They're in this garage. They're working on cars. Okay. And the cars are all different colors. Then after she splashes around in the Baphomet head, she goes to work in the garage. And let's see if we can get this to the right part here. And they're all under the hood. So, what spiritual significance does them messing around under the hood mean to you? Let's see what your guys' thoughts are on this, so that the world doesn't watch this video and think we're all insane, because we're all on the same page. What does it mean that they're in under the hoods of various colors reaching into the car? Let's let this chat catch up. Now, it's unclear what songs Rihanna will perform, but here's the one thing that is clear to me. The RA-Inanna ritual is well underway. Messing around under the hood, playing in our bodies. Amen, absolutely 100%. In the body, in our heads. Messing around with the mechanics of how our bodies work, right? Now, there was part of this that I was not expecting to find. The 88 matrix is also very much a part of this Rihanna umbrella ritual. And her performance at this Super Bowl will complete the circle of some very sick sorcery that's been going on for a very long time. Yes, Lori got it. In the body, because that's what they call a car, right? In the body. It's our bodies. We are all these cars. Let's go back and take a look. This is us, messing around under the hood. Now, when will Rihanna be performing the halftime show? Well, get out your pencils and papers. 8 days before her 35th birthday, which is another 8, because 5 plus 3 is 8, right? 8 days before her 8th birthday, or 35th birthday, which is 8. Ra, the sun god, RA-Inanna. Inanna, the sun goddess, by many definitions. Yes, she is the goddess of fertility, but she is also the goddess of the 8-pointed star. So, Ra, the sun god, Inanna, the sun goddess, RA-Inanna, or RA-Inanna. Now, who was Inanna married to? She was married to Tammuz, mentioned in the Bible as the abomination inside the walls. And we had surmised that this abomination inside the walls was probably a throwback to a mention in Leviticus 14, in which the priests, the Levitical priests, had to go inside the walls of these buildings and begin to remove stones, to remove leprous stones, to control the black mold. So the abomination in the walls, the black mold in the temple. We are temples. The ferrous fluid in our bodies, injected by the syringe. This is what they're talking about. Thieves in the temple. Now, Inanna is also the fertility goddess. So, when I said she was the sun goddess, it's because of her 8-pointed star. But she's also the fertility goddess. So this is all about fertilizing the womb. In the Nana, which I believe Nana means woman or womb or lady. So in the lady, in the Nana, inside the womb. The 8-pointed star, 8 days before her birthday, on the sun god day, Sunday, when she would turn 3 plus 5, which is 8. Now, if all this just seems like loose connections to you, when did Umbrella release? On the 88th day of the year, March 29th, 2007, which was 8 plus 8 years ago. Another 88. So 16 years ago. So, what's this all about? Well, March 29th is a portal date. Just so happens to be my birthday. Which is why I think we were kind of meant to uncover all this stuff. Show people the fabric of the Matrix. And something else weird happened during the release of the original Umbrella song. There was a creepy curse that happened. And during that year, they called it the Rihanna curse. What happened? There was extreme rainfall and flooding. What just happened in California? The Rihanna flooding curse is back. And in California, on the eve of this Super Bowl Sunday, there was an extreme year of flooding just ahead of the Super Bowl. Is this why she's wearing all yellow? Is this the sun goddess, the 8-pointed star ritual, the ferrous fluid of the umbrella, injecting the cane? Is this the end of some kind of ritual? The serpent rising up through the Super Bowl. They've achieved their objective. I think so, you guys. Now, all this kicked off during another Super Bowl, didn't it? The Super Bowl that happened in 2020. That ritual is what started the pandemic, and this ritual appears as though they've achieved their objective. Now, of course, I'll be decoding the halftime show, see if our initial observations in this decode come to pass. We'll probably decode that on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I just started screening a brand new film called There's Something Wrong with the Children. And it is a weird movie. I would not recommend watching this movie. We're going to pull out the symbolism as these children jump into the pit. Now, I anticipate that the movie, I haven't got to the end of the movie yet. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. But it appears as though they are basically going to disclose that whatever they did to the children is going to make them behave and act differently. So we're going to have to see what happens. All right, I'm in the chat here. Welcome, everybody. It's kind of a short show, but that's pretty much all I had. I wanted it to be straight and to the point. I'll put links to all this in the pinned comment. All right. Now, wouldn't it be a trip if this halftime show had elements of everything that we just talked about right now? Well, all that glory would go to the Most High, wouldn't it? For revealing things to his followers before they happen. I guess we're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? All right, what else is going on in here? Black-eyed children. Mold coat. Love you too. Thanks, Goy. Her hair spells COVID like rabbit in the movie. Oh, let's take a look at that. You saw something in there? Let's take a look. Oh, wow. There's something going on in there. Can't quite make it out. But here's the part that creeps me out. Look at this. You can literally see the end of this. Looks like a serpent head. Weird. Very weird, you guys. This was from the interview, the pre-interview that she did. It was like, I think it was a couple hours long. It's right here on YouTube if you want to check that out, if there's anything I missed in that interview. But didn't seem to be a lot going on in it. All right, I'm back here. Someone says, I think they see rabbit. Others of you see the word COVID spelled out. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. The Medusa thing, the Medusa hair is the thing right now. What else? Everyone is bitten. Yes, they are. Bitten by the serpent. Someone says she looks like Coolio. Mad USA. Oh, wow. Cindy. Mad USA is Medusa. Wow. Good catch. Got all weekend to decode this ritual. Yeah, I'll take a look at it on Sunday and we'll do a show on it on Monday. I have a feeling we're going to be blown away based on everything that I just showed you right now. Med USA. Thank you, Christy Belly. Med USA is Medusa. It is Coolio. All right. TMZ, Tammuz, right? Will Chris Brown be doing a duet with her? Yeah, he was in the Umbrella video. Now, what happened to him? What, didn't he, like, get in trouble for, like, beating up his girlfriend or something? Is he in jail? What happened to Chris Brown? I don't really keep up on the celebrities too much, other than these decodes, but, you know, you guys have probably noticed they're fewer and far between. There's a lot of other channels out there better at keeping up on all that stuff. What do you expect for... Did someone say, what do you expect for the Super Bowl? Let me back this up. What do you expect for this Sunday? Well, I've stopped trying to predict events happening during these rituals. I can tell you this, that the Super Bowl that happened in 2020 kicked off the whole pandemic. Okay, we decoded that back then when it happened. And I think, who was it? They were dancing around a bunch of spike proteins. There were smiley faces everywhere in that Super Bowl. We decoded that Super Bowl. It was a ritual to kick off the pandemic. Now, the pandemic was already going on in China, but obviously it hadn't gotten to the point to where anyone was alarmed here yet, because they allowed the Super Bowl to happen, and I don't think there were any rules about masks or anything like that during that Super Bowl. It was like right at the beginning of everything. And then very quickly, right after that Super Bowl, things escalated rapidly. We had our first lockdown and the state of emergency declared on March 13th, Friday the 13th, by Trump. That's when we drove through New Rochelle in, was it New York or Connecticut? I can't remember. We drove through there. We did a live stream. And that was the very first lockdown. And I told you guys this was the shape of things to come, that there would be more lockdowns. And I got attacked by other YouTube channels because we were looking at the connections, because Trump had a building there in Rochelle. And it's the Juice Club lives there, let's put it that way. And Trump opened his building there. And I got attacked by another channel saying that I was attacking the Juice Club. And I said, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just stating the facts. It's a largely Jewish community. I mean, that's just a fact. And I told you that this was a practice run for a much wider lockdown. And then sure enough, the rest of the country locked down. Remember that? So, what we said was going to happen happened. And I think that video is still up if you guys want to go on the channel. The Rochelle lockdown, and we talked about all the symbolism surrounding that. And so then we went through the whole thing, the whole pandemic, of course, and now here we are at the end. And I'm sure there will be themes of, oh, we all were in this together, we got through this, it's over now because everyone complied. I'm sure those will be themes running through the Super Bowl and the halftime show. We'll probably also get into some of the commercials, some of the ads that play during the Super Bowl. We'll probably take care of all that on Monday. I'm going to have my work cut out for me. On Sunday, I'm going to try to get some fishing in. I'll probably go fishing with Eli again this weekend. Catch some trout. I'm going to bring the GoPro, maybe get some footage of Eli and I fishing. And I'll have that up for you guys later in the week as well. So, what else is going on? Yeah, they got an oil change under the hood. That's a really great way of putting it. Wow. Oil change under the hood. The ferrous fluid. Yes, the Rihanna curse already repeated, Monica, with the heavy torrential rainfall in California. That was the point I was trying to make there. 8 years ago, 16 years ago, there was torrential rainfall in the United Kingdom when Umbrella released, and it's happening again. Or it happened again. It's not still raining in California, but that happened in 2023. So, very weird, isn't it? It's like a portal was opened or something. And that's what happens. These are rituals, you guys. Once you get all these different people worshiping these demigods, or whatever, however you say that word, it releases something. It's false worship, and it gives the enemy some kind of power. He's the ruler of the air. So you don't think that he can have control over some of the weather? You know, there's been a lot of talk about the space station. Many people don't even believe the space station's real anymore. They think it may have been floating on balloons Well, look at this. This is breaking news. NASA is now talking about deorbiting the International Space Station on the heels of all these balloons. This is crazy, you guys. They're actually talking about deorbiting the space station. Maybe the gig's up. Maybe all these things are floating on balloons. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? Let's read this. And the NASA Safety Advisory Panel wants to come up with a robust plan to deorbit the International Space Station. What? NASA leaders have proposed extending the life of the ISS to 2030. The extension has renewed calls from some for a well-defined plan for safely bringing the space station down from orbit. Well, they better take the balloons off of it first before they crash into the Earth, because then the gig will be up. No, I don't know. Who knows what these people are up to? Right? So, weird. Now, one thing I've learned on this channel, with all of your help, is never ever discount a theory that we think might be happening. I kind of made that mistake with the whole magnet thing. I mean, to this day, I'm not sure that is really happening, but at the least, it was a clue as to what else could be going on, right? With all this ferrous fluid stuff that they're showing us in plain sight. So I've learned at least to have an open mind about some of this stuff that in my wildest dreams I couldn't imagine could be happening. And this is why you never know what is up in the sky and how they got it up there and how it's staying up there. Okay? Look at this. Whoa. Does that say Venom? Wait, hold on. That's an M. Wait. What the heck? V. That's an O. That's a V. That's an M. That's an E. Okay, let's do a little drawing time here. Let's pull out the paint tool. What the heck is going on here? Let's do some drawing here. Let's do this. I don't know. I kind of see the word Venom surrounding this. Okay, so there's a V. Oops. What's going on here? V. Right there, right? There's an M. There's an E right here. Okay, there's an O right here. What are we missing? We're missing... Oh, there's the N right there. What? You got to be kidding me. Oops. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit the back button and the forward button so you guys can see this with your own eyes. The word Venom. Let's see, how do we do this? Undo. We have to undo it. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Zoom this up so you guys can see this. Oh my goodness. Now, there are other letters that appear in here, but it looks like we found... Oh. Venom. Can you see it? Venom. Ooh. And it's surrounding the word us and the word music, like the United States or us. Venom in us. With the fluid. I don't know. Do you guys see that? Is this a stretch? Let's zoom it up a little bit more. Venom. Unbelievable. Let me go back in here. Wow. So, there you go. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Crazy times we're living in. Crazy times. So, do you guys think that she's going to perform Umbrella at the Super Bowl? Let's see what you guys think about that. Judah says no. Okay. I don't know. I saw letters in there, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay. Do you guys think she's going to perform Umbrella? Yeah, I can't say the G word, the GRA, the graph word. We can't say that. That's probably a for sure takedown or whatever. Some of you see it, some of you don't. Now I didn't put the letter right on top of it because I didn't want to obscure the letter. But that's an O. That's an N. There's a V, and there's an M, and there's an E. So, weird. Okay. Alright, guys. Well, we will be back on. I think we're going to not be on here probably Saturday and Sunday. Unless something really pressing happens. So it looks like Monday, most likely. So I love each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I will see you on Monday with the Super Bowl ads and halftime show decode. Take care and be safe, everybody.